mountain desert, Colorado. Where exactly in Colorado?
Strasburg, Colorado.
Strasburg, and this is Brad from Flying Bee Bar Ranch, and it's supposed to be springtime, but it got a little bit cooler.
Got a little winter yesterday.
Yes, and we are on pasture. How much pasture or how much acreage do you guys have here?
We have about 4,000 acres total. Yeah.
Right, and so the cattle behind us, they rotationally graze, right? What type of cattle do we have here?
So this is our Wagyu-Angus herd. We run an Angus herd. We run a Wagyu-Angus cross. So 50-50 Wagyu-Angus. This is actually a section of grass. This is 640 acres, and we break it up into pieces so we can rotationally graze it. And you'll see this is a little bit of everything. There's like yearlings in here all the way to cattle that are almost finished in this group. All kinds of different colors, but they're all Wagyu-Angus cross.
Yeah, and they're super friendly and they come up to you. So these are all good signs that the animals are treated super well. And so you guys get them when they're calves here, and then they are grass fed and then grass finished up until that, that one day, that one bad day in their life, right?
Yeah, one bad day, it isn't that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
On my 95th birthday, you can sign me up for that.
Well, that's a true testament to what they go through. So that's awesome. And yeah, and so Wagyu, your end product, because I've had a lot of different types of beef, and so a lot of it does come from what type of cow they are. And so that cross Wagyu and Angus is just, it's so amazing.
And the Wagyu breed, Wagyu breed is what creates the world famous Kobe beef. They marble, they intermuscularly marble, not as much sort of external fat like you see on a regular, like a New York steak with a big old fat cap.
Right.
They marble inside the cuts. Really gentle. You can see super gentle animals. We're in and around the herds multiple times a day, every day. So it's the breed for sure. Super tender. Wagyu is a very tender meat, but really flavorful. And I think that comes from the breed, but also from the grass.
Right.
These eastern plains of Colorado shortgrass, prairie grasses, the terroir of this beef is beefy. One of my favorite quotes from a customer one time was, "Your beef tastes like you put a bouillon cube on a hunk of beef."
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And I thought, I love that. It is. It's really big beef flavor, and because the grass just brings that out in the animal versus corn finishing tends to dull that flavor a little bit, and it changes a little bit. The flavor profile changes a little bit. Spring grazing versus summer versus fall. And it's like wines. It's really interesting, and it comes out of the soil. That flavor comes out of the soil.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too once you've sort of changed from eating beef that was grain fed or conventionally raised. It's almost like and then you switch to grass fed, and then all of a sudden your taste buds change a little bit to being like the different types of grass, like what like you said, like wine, being a beef sommelier, if you will. You're just like, I taste a little bit of like perennials or alfalfa or who knows, so it's really interesting. And so I'm really happy that I'm at a point now too where it's like I also pick different types of ranches or farms that my meat comes from, because it's like I don't need to switch it up with different spices or sauces. I could switch it up with just different meat sources. So that's super cool. And then also this Wagyu is way different than like Kobe beef Wagyu, right? Because of how they're treated. And this is obviously 100% grass fed.
So these are 50% Wagyu, so that's one thing. So they're half Wagyu, half Angus versus full blooded Wagyu. And true Kobe beef is finished on brewer's mash and marbled like it's hard to believe how much they get marbled. So these are not marbled that much, but plenty of marbling.
But that's mostly because they're chained up, fed grain and brewed.
I don't know how they're feeding them, but they get really fat.
Well, I imagine kind of similar to maybe humans in general. It's like you keep them sedentary long enough and you feed it processed foods.
It's gonna get fat.
Kind of what happens.
It is.